Hello, everyone. I'm Devyn Gaydos, the marketing manager here at ClearEdge, and welcome back to Spark the Space, where the ClearEdge team shares all of their knowledge, expertise, and inspiration with you so your marketing can be better than ever. Today, I am joined by marketing strategist, fractional advisor, and all-around marketing genius, Mandy Walker, and we're going to be talking about something that is so important today. This is the first episode of 2025, so we are diving into annual marketing planning. It's 2025. It is so beyond the time for us to drop those random acts of marketing and start bringing some strategy and plans to what you're doing so you can get long-term sustainable success alongside those short-term wins. So first and foremost, Mandy, why? Why is annual marketing important? Why do people need to be doing it?
Well, thank you, Devyn, so much for having me here. I'm so happy to be here. And you stole a lot of my answer in that, but
that's good. So that means it's really important.
It is. And I think part of why it's so important is that marketing as a function has become so wide these days, with the digital revolution, and we've got everything from digital marketing and demand gen all the way through product marketing and brand and communications and PR. And there's so many areas that we could be focusing our marketing efforts on. And so often it's easy to just get caught up in terms of trying to do all of the things and trying to do all the things well. And at the end of the year, not have anything to show for it and not realize what the results were that you were really aiming for. And so I think a marketing plan really allows you to sort of step back, be a strategic, proactive marketing leader within your organization, and identify the plan that's going to work for the business goals. At the end of the day, that's really what the plan is meant to do, is have your business goals as your North Star, and the plan will get you there.
I love that you use the word proactive. Proactive, I feel like is everywhere right now. We cannot keep doing this reactive, short-term, throwing stuff against the wall. We have to bring thought to it, bring proactivity to it, and be responsible for our goals and for the strategies that we can do. So in the air of being proactive, what are some of the steps that people should take when they're building their own marketing plan?
Absolutely. Well, I have probably 6 steps that I typically follow every time I bring a client through a marketing strategy and a marketing plan. And so I'll hit on them quickly. The first is to conduct a marketing landscape review. So take a look internally at all of your campaigns, your programs, your team, sort of the different functions that you have, and do an internal assessment. Do an internal assessment of your customer research, your customer feedback. What are your customers saying? What are they reacting to really well? And then go external as well. External market research, do your SWOT analysis, potentially a pestle analysis, and really think about how the landscape is evolving and changing within your industry, within your customers and your target audience, and then also within marketing as well. We have lots of trends that we should be looking at in terms of what's working and what's not. The second step I would do is set your vision and your goals. Always start with the business goals. A lot of people miss this.
Yes.
Meet with your C-suite, figure out what the business goals are for the year. And then from there, identify 3 to 5 marketing goals that are directly tied to achieving the business goals. Number 3, this is sort of the fun stage, your strategy and ideation stage. I like to look at everything from my growth strategy, meaning where's the growth going to come from? New clients, existing clients, upselling, reselling, new product launches, but get a handle on where the growth is going to come from. And then step 2, build what are your campaigns that are going to get you there? How are you going to target those different audience segments with a really strong campaign or campaigns? And then 3, content is queen, right? Content drives your campaign strategy. So hit your content strategy. And then last but not least, hit your promotional channel strategies. How are you going to get your content and your campaigns out there into the world and amplified? So make sure you hit that. That's your strategy and ideation phase. From there, and I like to think big on that. I like to have fun. Because from there, the next step is your execution blueprint. That's where you really get into the nuts and the bolts, and you kind of come down from cloud 9 a bit. What are we going to achieve?
What's real? What do we actually have the capacity for? Yeah,
exactly. Narrow in, right? Sort of effort versus impact. What are those high impact, low effort areas that you can really make a difference? Build your roadmap according to that. Figure out your marketing resourcing. How are you going to get this work done? And then, of course, your budget. What kind of budget do you need in order to get that done? From there, quick buy-in and approval from your C-suite, especially your CEO and your CFO. Even your CRO would be great, depending, so that you're creating some sales and marketing alignment. And then last but not least, and I think it's so easy to skip this step, but I see so many people build their plan. They've got a great plan. They dive right in. But I would encourage everyone to take this last step of figuring out your implementation plan. What do you need in place to make sure this plan is going to be successful? And it could be collecting data that's going to make sure that you're tracking towards your goals. It could be setting up new reports that are going to make sure you're working towards your goals. New systems, tools, technologies. Just think about, how are you going to make this plan come to life? Because so often we just pass that and go straight into execution, and then we struggle with getting the plan done.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's too real. It's too real. I know that feeling so well, because you get so excited about doing a project or getting a campaign out the door. And then you realize, oh, I wanted to have a particular nurture campaign that went if people clicked this link, but we're not set up to be able to do that. Or we didn't write the emails for the nurture campaign, and you find those roadblocks. So yeah, think about how you're actually going to get it done. That is so huge. And one of the other things that you mentioned that is front of mind for us in particular right now, and I think a lot of places around marketing, we're seeing this new Venn diagram pushing against each other of sales and marketing. We are starting to see that sales and marketing, the alignment needs to be there. We need to be working closely together in order to see that success. So are there particular things that people can do when they're building their marketing plan to keep an eye on that sales and marketing alignment?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, I think thinking about your entire plan as a growth leader as opposed to a marketing leader will just automatically bring you closer with your sales team. And I think the ways that you can do that is, number one, in step number 2, when we talked about vision and goal setting, don't just start with marketing goals or marketing KPIs. It's so often that we can say, oh, well, we've got this MQL goal, and then we're going to throw those over the fence to sales, and it's on sales. We're going to pick it up and run with it. But often we all need to be rowing to the same direction of the revenue and the growth. And those are the goals in my mind that we should all be working towards, versus this is my marketing goal and that's your sales goal. So if we got shared goals, that will at least help us speak the same language in meetings. Another great area, I think, is the growth strategy that we talked about. Being really aligned with sales on how are we going to drive growth. Is it through customer acquisition? Is it through customer expansion? Are we going after a new target audience segment? Sales and marketing should be aligned within those, and we should be building campaigns and strong sales and marketing efforts to attack those segments. And so I think that's a critical piece that so often marketers miss, or we do in silos.
Yes, the silos are it's so real, because, hey, we take on a lot as marketers. We're often like, let's hand this over to sales. I want to be done with this. But yeah, you do kind of have to keep that hand holding happening.
Totally. And the last thing, I mean, get them involved in content and campaigns. Salespeople love to be featured. They want to build their personal brand. It's great for their own selling and network. And we as marketers can use the content, and it's great ambassadorship for our brand. And so I find that to be a really win-win, kind of low-hanging fruit for people.
I feel like I could have taken notes that whole time and I didn't, but that's how incredible. I love these conversations. So Mandy, thank you so much for joining me today. And if you are watching, you can connect with Mandy on LinkedIn or on her newly launched podcast, Growth Activated, which I am so excited to hear and promote and share with you all. So please go give that a listen. And as always, you can learn more about what we do at ClearEdge, including our marketing, recruiting, and leadership development services, over at meetclearedge.com. And we'll see you next time.